Hello everyone. So again we are back here with a new concept of civics chapter, that is Demo Politics, and today's chapter is Federalism. The second chapter in your Demo Politics content, Federalism, and in this class we are going to learn few important topics of federalism. Okay, so first we'll begin with differentiation between unitary government and federal government, the meaning of federalism, then we learn about the important features of federalism, and finally we end the class with different forms of federation, different routes of federation, coming together federation, holding together federation. Okay, yes, so let's not waste the time, we'll quickly begin. What exactly is federalism? The meaning of federalism: federalism is where in a country we have more than two levels of government. If a country has more than two or more levels of government, if a country has two or more levels of government, that country can be called as a federal country. So the idea of adopting two or more levels of government is called federalism. To understand better the meaning of federalism, we'll go with the differentiation between the unitary government and federal government. Remember, this question was asked in 2025 paper, 2025 PYQ for 2 mark. Okay, simple. What is this? Unitary government and federal government. Unitary and federal. Simple. Differentiate between unitary government and federal government. In unitary government, we'll have only one level of government. One level of government. Obviously, that would be central level. Central level. In federal government, we have two or more levels of government. Two or more levels of government. As we have in India, it is central level, state level, and local self level. Local self government. Okay, the first point is, if your country has only one level of government, that will be called as unitary country or unitary form of government. If your country has two or more levels of government, that would be called as federal government. Unitary is one level, federal is two levels. Okay, yes. And examples. Which country has one level of government? We can go with Russia. Sorry, we can go with China. China has one level of government. And we can go with Germany as well. Germany also has one level of government. Enough. Two levels. Obviously, India is a federal country. Russia is also a federal country. Done? Yes. Third point. In unitary government, we have the concept of concentration of power. Concentration of power. And here, power sharing. Power sharing. Simple. Look here. Second point will be example. Under unitary, the countries which have unitary form of government is China and Germany. The countries which have federal government is India and Russia. That would be your second point. Third point is very important. Unitary form of government have the ideology of concentration of power. Concentration of power is what exactly? They enjoy all the powers in one hand. In central government itself, all the powers are concentrated. And here, the powers are shared. As we discussed in power sharing chapter, the powers are shared between different levels of government. We call it as vertical power sharing. Same to it, in federal we have power sharing concept. And final, the last differentiation, state is subordinate. State is subordinate of central. State is subordinate of central. Here again, state is not subordinate of central. State is not subordinate of central. What exactly it means? Even though if your country has states, for example, there might be several countries where they have the concept of state government, but state doesn't know any power. Imagine, in India, we have 28 states. Each state has its own state government. Karnataka has its own Karnataka state government. But if the state doesn't enjoy the power, it becomes unitary government. What do you mean state doesn't enjoy the power? State will be under the control of central government. If the state is subordinate of central, it is unitary. In India, state is not subordinate of central. Why? Because we have our own powers given by the constitution of the country. So state is not subordinate of central. So I hope this is very much clear. The easy and simple 2-mark question, differentiate between unitary government and federal government. Okay, this is clear. Now, the next concept would be features of federalism. Features of federalism. This is also important 5-mark question, several times asked in board examination. If we study this, we can ensure you that the 5-mark would be easily available in a board examination. We'll begin. Features of federalism. Easy. What are the features of federalism? Every federal country must have 2 or more levels of government. 2 or more levels of government. 2 or more levels of government. Okay. Each level have their own powers. Each level have their own jurisdiction of powers or powers. We can write jurisdiction of powers. Done. Who gave them these powers? Powers are given by the constitution of the country. Powers are given by the constitution, and this constitution, the constitution cannot be changed. Constitution cannot be changed unilaterally. Then the first 4 features of federalism are very important and very easy to remember as well. As we told, features of federalism, each level of government, there must be 2 or more levels of government. In federalism, in a federal country, there will be 2 or more levels of government. As we have in India, central level, state level, local government level, etc. Each level have their own powers. Remember, discussed in power sharing chapter, what are the powers of central government, what are the powers of state government. Central government might have more powers, but still each level have their own powers, and state government is not subordinate of central government. Have their own powers. Who gave the powers? Powers are guaranteed by the constitution. I have not written the full statement here. You can write in examination. Third point, powers are guaranteed by the constitution. Always remember, constitution cannot be changed unilaterally. If you want to change the constitution, only one level. Unilateral stands for one level of government. The central government cannot alone change the constitution. We need a support of state government as well. So this is what the main 4 points. They are connected to each other. So listen, very simple. 2 or more levels. Each level have their own power. Power given by constitution. Constitution cannot be changed unilaterally. We have 2 or more levels of government. Each level have their own powers. Powers guaranteed by the constitution. Constitution cannot be changed unilaterally. Okay. Then the 5th feature. The 5th feature is judiciary act as a problem solver. Judiciary act as a problem solver, which means if 2 or more levels of government fight each other, if there's a conflict between different levels of government, if there's a conflict between different levels of government, might be from state to central or between state and state, anything, if there is a conflict between different levels of government, judiciary act as a problem solver. Judiciary act as an umpire to solve the problems. How will they solve problems? By interpretation of constitution. By interpreting the constitution. Always remember, judiciary will interpret the constitution and they will solve the problems between different levels of government. Okay, there might be any level. See, for example, there is a conflict between Karnataka state government versus central government of India. The problem is solved by Supreme Court of India. That is nothing but judiciary. So now we have completed 5 features. This is also feature. So totally 5 features. Then feature number 6, each level have their own source of revenue, which means it is clearly mentioned which level of government should collect what revenue. For example, if we are traveling on a national highway and if we pay toll tax, obviously the toll money will go to central government because we are traveling on national highway. If we use state highway, if you pay the toll tax, obviously the money will go to state government. So it is clearly mentioned what government should enjoy what revenue. So each and every government have source of revenue. What if I tell you there is a tax called as animal tax also? Find yourself which level of government has powers to control and collect the animal tax in India. Okay, that is the 6th feature. 7th feature is dual objectives. What is this dual objectives or aims? Whenever we adopt power sharing, we must have some objective, must have some aims, right? The first aim is to promote unity and integrity, to promote and safeguard unity and integrity. Okay, and the second objective would be to accommodate social diversity. Yes, very simple. We have two aims or two objectives of federalism. First objective would be to promote and safeguard the unity of the country. The main idea of federalism is to promote and safeguard the unity. If we see the Belgium concept, the concept of Belgium, the country called Belgium adopted power sharing and they created the state government, which means by adopting power sharing, they also adopted federalism concept to do what? These two things. They promoted unity in their country. None of the diversity is fought there, and they also accommodated social diversity. So these are the two objectives: to promote and safeguard the unity of the country, to accommodate social diversity. Okay. Then we have dual aspects of federalism. The first aspect is mutual trust. Second would be agreement to live together. It is very simple. On what aspects the whole federalism has been stood up? So listen carefully. In India, we have 28 states, which means 28 governments, state governments, and one central government, lot of local government. What aspect has enjoyed in federalism for success? It is mutual trust. All the levels of government should trust each other and they should agree to live together in the same country. Okay, that was dual aspect. So totally we have 8 features of federalism for 5 marks. Do not write only 5 features, then tell that we'll get 5 marks. No, everybody should write all the 8 features. Whatever is on the board, if you just add a few words and make it as a complete sentence, then that would be sufficient enough to get 5 marks. I'll recap once again in 1 minute. Listen very carefully. Features of federalism for 5 marks. There are 2 or more levels of government. Each level have their own powers given or guaranteed by the constitution, and constitution cannot be changed unilaterally. Judiciary act as an umpire and problem solver by interpreting the constitution. That solves the problem between different levels of government. We have each level enjoying their own source of revenue, and finally we should end our answer with dual objective, dual aspects. Totally 8 features for 5 marks. Okay, and in same video we'll also continue. We'll learn next the roots of federation. Okay, so I hope you're enjoying the class and the basic things of chapter federalism has been discussed. Meaning of federalism, features of federalism. Now we are going with different roots of federation. Different roots of federalism. How federalism is formed. How the different federal countries have been formed. Okay. This is also very important question. We'll start one by one. First, you should write here coming together federation. Coming together federation. On right hand side we'll write holding together federation. Holding together federation. So this would be the last topic of this particular video. Coming together federation, holding together federation. What exactly is coming together? Very simple. When two or more states come together to form one union. Okay? I'll give an example as well. Two or more states. Two or more states, or you can write units as well. Two or more states come together to form one union. Come together to form one union. Understood? Two or more states come together to form one union. Example is USA, Switzerland, etc. You have many examples of textbook as well. Okay, what do you mean by two or more states coming together? In USA, we have 50 states. All those states were independent states. They are independent states. They came together to form one union. That will be called as coming together. There was no concept of union earlier. See, for example, here there were different states. If this is one union, all were different states. There was no concept of union. This particular was separate country, separate state. This was separate. Everybody were different separate states. They all came together to form one union. Then the United States of America, United States concept came into existence. Yes, it's very simple. Two or more states, if they come together to form one union, that is called coming together federation. The holding together federation is exactly opposite of it. One union, the union is already existing. One union divided into two or more states. One union divided into two or more states. And the best example would be India. We've also learned about Belgium. Okay, listen very carefully. When India got independence in 1947, we were one union. See, this was one union. There was no states concept. We were one union. And what we did? We divided this union into small parts. In 1956, for the first time, India was divided into 14 states. Which means, Indian Union, we ourselves, we divided the places. One union was already existing, but here there was no union. There were separate states who came together to form one union. But here, there was already a union. We divided union into small states or separate states. So we already learned 2 points. Definition plus example. 2 points are done. Third point, purpose. Why do you think all these 50 states have come together? Yes, it is very simple. For the purpose of security. For the purpose of security and also strength. If all the 50 states are independent each other, they would be very weak. It would be very easy for other country to attack over them and capture them. So thus, to avoid that, they came together. They formed a big union. Now they have security and they are powerful. For the purpose is security and strength. Why do you think one big union will be divided? Okay, yes, imagine your school has five sections of grade 10. 30 students per each section, it would be 150 students in one class. So what the school will do, they'll divide all those 150 students into 5 different sections to manage them easily. So the purpose here was for the better administration. So purpose would be easy and efficient administration. Easy and efficient administration. Easy and efficient administration. Simple. The purpose of coming to the federation is for the purpose of security and strength, and here it was easy and efficient administration. Okay, we got the purpose now. Then all the states have equal power. All states have equal power. Equal power. So here exactly opposite it. States have unequal power. Yes, unequal powers. So in the same chapter, in the further next content, we are going to learn what states of India has unequal powers. Why? Because we ourselves divided the states in India. So if you want to ensure some states more powers, we can do that. But here that is not possible, because they were independent states earlier. They themselves voluntarily they have combined. So all the states have equal powers. Here states have unequal powers. Okay, and I hope 4 points are done already. The 5th point. What would be the 5th point? Yes, 2 or more states have. Okay, purpose is done. Equal powers is done. And the 5th point would be yes. So 2 or more states, levels of government, purpose. Okay. 5th point. Okay. Actually, the 3-mark question. So the 5th point would be states have unequal powers or equal powers here, and states are free to move out of union. Free to move out of union if they wish so, and here they cannot. States cannot move out of union. Done. It's very simple, very easy also. Because all the states have equal powers, they voluntarily form the union. If they want to move out of union, they can. States can move out of union, but here we have created the central government, the constitution has created the states. They cannot move out of the union. What if Karnataka tells that Karnataka wants to move out of Indian